Welcome back. The issue around Jabi Lake in Abuja has generated loads of controversy because the FCT minister has taken a decision that some residents are not comfortable with. The people in the know are right here with me and with us right here in the studio, in our Lagos studio. Mr. Patrick Alam is a legal officer of an NGO known as Space for Change. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Geoffrey.
So let's walk through people who are not familiar with Abuja. And what this, because I like to posit for the generality of the audience so that everybody has the greatest frame of reference. Yeah. What is it with this Jabi Lake?
Thank you very much, Geoffrey. So Jabi Lake is a natural reserve in Abuja. It sits on an expanse of land of over 200 hectares. And it's a recreational park where citizens, Abuja residents, go to have fun, relax, and it's, as we speak, it's a free land where citizens can simply just walk into the park and relax. It is also a very good balance of eco-diversity in Abuja. Considering the nature of Abuja, you know that there are a lot of construction and a lot of development going on, so there are buildings everywhere. But Jabi Lake provides one of the opportunity for Abuja to have green spaces where citizens...
like we're seeing.
Yes, it's a green space where you can easily, the environment is for some reason, that's a hope for us, where we have green spaces to preserve our environment. So indeed, it's something that is very particular to Abuja residents and Nigeria indeed, because this is a situation where we're talking about climate change and the problems that are associated with the environment. But here we have a space where the environment is being preserved, it's providing that balance between the environment and development. And the concern about Jabi Lake is the fact that this public space now is under the threat of being commercialized for public-private interest. And what do I mean by that? Sometime in February, the Minister of FCT announced that this public space is now being concessioned, or the FCT signed an agreement with two private companies to redevelop Jabi Lake. And the concern is that this is a public space. How far have we taken the public along in this entire redevelopment plan? So the public is not aware, they are aware that their public space, their free space, is being given out to a private interest, but they don't have a voice. They have not been taken along.
So let's take it in bit. My apologies. So this is our own, in Abuja, this is our own mini Central Park, like in New York.
Exactly.
It's a green space, it's a green area. There's water body and there's a greenery all over the place. It looks very beautiful for people who haven't been there.
Yeah.
So this redevelopment, what is the minister planning to do with it? Is it turning what we're seeing into a residential area, or upgrading this area we're seeing to even be more, is it more beautiful? Will I use the word now? Or more environmentally friendly? What is the nature of the redevelopment? Before we begin to fight the idea.
Thank you very much. So that is part of the problem with this particular redevelopment, because it is shrouded in secrecy. We don't exactly know what the Minister of FCT wants to do with this redevelopment idea. But what we have heard so far is that they plan to change that place into a mixed-use hub. There will be some part of it that will be allocated for residential purposes. There will be some part of it that will be allocated to commercial purposes, and a bit of it, maybe somewhere, will be used for recreation. And we thought that if this is a public space and you are going to change that whole expanse of land into all these mixed uses, the least that the public would expect is for them to be carried along and be told exactly what is in need for them. The thing is that this thing is not being redeveloped by the government. So one thing you can expect clearly is that the public may no longer have the free access they currently have to this park.
So to get to Jabi Lake is free?
For now, it is free. Yeah.
I'm saying it for the purpose of people who haven't been to Abuja.
It is free, except you want to use the facilities there. Otherwise, access to Jabi Lake is free.
So if you want to use the place now, you pay to the FCT. As if maybe you want to do an event or What exactly?
It's a place
I'm
for
trying to pause
relaxing.
it for those
Exactly.
who don't live in Abuja, so remember
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. So Jabi Lake is essentially free.
Okay.
Access to it is free. If you just want to hang out, you just want to relax, you just want to go and have fun, it's free. Okay. Except if you want to use facilities like the horse riding and the other facilities, side event or side attractions that you get to pay. Otherwise, it's a free space. So we are concerned that this thing, if it goes down the way it has been planned, it is heavily going to be commercialized. In fact, the companies during the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding said clearly that this is a huge investment for them. It is something that it's a pivotal point in the company's history in terms of the kind of investments they get.
Okay, so just seeing here that the FCT minister disclosed that the goal is to modernize the space into a major hub comparable to Dubai's Palm Jumeirah. He cited that the previous allottees neglected the land for 15 years. Confirm for us if that is true, because I know that Mr. Minister has been up and about the fact that lands in the VFCT were allocated to some persons, but they were abandoned for many years.
Thank you very much. The thing is, we shouldn't be so focused on who was allotted that land. We should be concerned about what is the current use of the land and what does it stand for in the FCT. The current use of the land, as we all have established here, is that it's a free space where Abuja residents go to relax, go to have fun. So it was already in active public use. But let's also go away from the use of the land. Let's come to the environmental implications of what they plan to do with that land. Because the environmental concern clearly states that we're yet to see what exactly they plan to do with that. But like I said earlier, it's going to be a mixed commercial hub, residential area, and some aspect of it will be recreation. One would expect that a project of this magnitude will have an environmental impact assessment. And this whole concerns that we have been raising won't have to go this route, because the public would have been taken along. We would have seen the environmental impact assessment, where it will show clearly the nature of development that is being proposed, and it will show clearly the environmental hazards that may result from this proposed project. Because clearly, if this project goes down the way we are seeing it being reported, then we can't have Jabi Lake. The water body, as you saw there, will no longer be the same. The water will be affected. The environmental balance, the ecological balance will no longer be the same.
It looks beautiful, but you know how government works. It has played out here in Lagos with the landmark beach where the Lagos Calabar Coastal Way has taken center stage, and most of the beaches, or some of the beaches, have had to give way. Confirm for us, are there reports of demolitions already? Because I think sometime in March there were stories around demolitions and all of that. Is that the case for those who are residents in that area?
Okay, so there were no residential homes in Jabi Lake before now. It was just a park. But I can confirm that for those who were already carrying out, providing basic services like the food vendors and the small shops that were there, indeed there have been demolitions already. All right.
Have there been efforts to engage with Mr. FCT Minister? Have there been efforts to engage with him?
Yes, definitely. The coalition that the civil society coalition, part of the members, some of them will be accountability labs, spaces for change. We have made concerted effort to engage the Minister of FCT, and one of the things we've done is to send an FOI, that's the Freedom of Information request to the FCT Minister to provide details around this particular project. And we are very specific in the things that we have asked the FCT to provide, the FCT Minister to provide. The first thing is that we asked, can you give us a copy of the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed with these two private companies, so we know exactly what is being ceded to a private company, what aspect, how much of public space or public asset is being ceded to a private company. We also requested the FCT Minister to provide us with a copy of the Environmental Impact Assessment, because if you look at the Environmental Impact Assessment Act of the 1992, it provides that every project of this magnitude that is supposed to be, that is being contemplated by the government or private entities must have an impact environmental impact assessment showing the nature of damage that we will cause to the environment. So that has not been, they are yet to respond to that. And lastly, we also requested that we should be shown a copy of the approved design. You asked a question earlier that what is it about Jabi? We want to see the approved design so that we won't be preempting or won't be assuming what they have told us, but we can specifically say this design, this is it.
So let's put it on record.
Yeah.
You've not seen the design.
But
the design has not been made public.
It has not been made public. We don't know which areas are green spaces.
So the FOI has it been responded to?
No. And you know that the Freedom of Information Act 2011 specifically says, that's in section 4, it says specifically that FOI should be responded to within 7 days.
So when did you write this FOI?
And this was written since April, 8th of April 2026.
And nobody has responded
to this day, as we speak now, they have not responded to this
Which is the right office to write to? The reason I'm asking this question, sorry, it's not a joke. The reason, because I remember the issue of the ADC, is it ADC now? When they were about to use a facility, and then a letter was written to the FCT ministers of agriculture. They were saying the channel of writing, well, some people say it's all politics, but however, they were saying, we're not the ones, write to the minister, write to FCT and all of that. So who are you meant to write? Is it the office of the minister? What's the right? I'm just asking for the record.
The issue of FOI, it's a matter of law. So
I'm not disputing. Yeah. I'm not disputing. It's because I'm telling you, trust me, I know what I'm saying. But be that as it may, if all of that fails, because if you're supposed to,
so it's on record.
If that fails, then you resort to litigation, right? Is that the plan?
Yes. So we wrote specifically to the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
Seeking for what?
Seeking for this specific document that have listed the memorandum of understanding signed with the private company. We're seeking for the environmental impact assessment that has been done in respect of this project. Okay. We asked the FCT Capital Territory Administration to tell us specifically if there has been any public consultation with the people regarding this project. We sought to get the approved design. And then we also were interested in the process of selection, because this is going to be a public-private project. So we wanted to see what was the process of resulted into these two companies that
we're totally out of time, Mr. Alam. So there are two parts, litigation, or you also escalate it to the president himself. Maybe you will listen.
Litigation is also a right, because
no, you have a right to sue if you want to. You have a right to sue. And it's a public property. It's not the minister that owns it.
The thing about the environment is that the environment, it has before now been seen as something that was something contained in section 20 of the Constitution, where it used to be an aspect of our life that was not justiciable. But we do know that with the judicial progress we've made in this country now, particularly in the case of there's a Center for Oil Pollution Watch against NNPC. The Supreme Court specifically said that environmental right is closely tied with the right to life. If you don't provide the conditions that support life, then you cannot be talking about the right to life in itself.
Fantastic. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking you all the questions as to who you wrote to, whether you wrote to the right office, so that you're not writing and the minister has not seen it, and then you're saying he's not responding. That's why I was asking those questions.
Thank you.
But I know he has seen the objections, he has seen the concerns raised, because I think he did a presser responding to some of the remarks being made and all of that. I must thank you, Patrick Alam, Legal Officer, Space for Change, joining us right here talking about the Jabi Lake controversy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.